I'm starting with this pattern paper, and the length of the pattern paper is 26 inches. You can make yours 28. Okay. Now, from that point, I marked 4 inches for neck depth. I also marked 4 inches for neck width, and I connected everything together. I kind of did like a free hand. I drew the neck line with a free hand, and I went into smoothing it out with my French curve. Okay, so after doing this, the next thing I went ahead to do was to mark my shoulder point at 8 inches. Now you will mark your own shoulder point. Don't come and mark my shoulder point and say it did not size you. Okay, so from that point, I stepped my tape downwards and I marked my bust point at 8 inches as well. I also did that at the other point and I drew a straight line. Okay. Now, after doing this, I also went ahead to, from that point, to mark 8 inches. And the reason for this is so that our line is straight, okay? Then I connected it. You can see why I did all these things, okay? Now, the next thing I went ahead to do was I stepped it down by half an inch to get my shoulder slant. And this is what we have here, guys, okay? Now, from the middle, I went ahead to mark my bust point plus 2.5 inches, okay? My bust point plus 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches is for ease, let it be free. And the half, that's 2 inches for ease, let it be free. And the half inches is joining allowance, okay? So that's what I did there. My bust point plus 2.5 inches because this is a free blouse, okay? Now, for at the bottom, I also went ahead to mark my bust point for 2.5 inches. Then from that point, I extended it backwards and marked 5 inches so that we'll have that slant, so that we can get that flared slant, okay? So after doing that, I just used my ruler and I drew a slanted line, okay? So this is what we have here for the pattern for the blouse. This is the front part. Now, the same thing applies to the back. So I just want to insert the back pattern into the front pattern. So for the back pattern, from that point, my neck depth is 1 inch, okay? Neck width is still 4 inches. So I just marked neck depth at 1 inch and I just connected it to my neck width, okay? Very simple, guys. So after doing this, I went ahead to tag back and front so I don't make a mistake. And when you want to cut this pattern, you want to make sure you cut the back part first before you go ahead to cut the front part, okay? So this is what we have here, guys. You can see the back and the front pattern in one paper. So to kickstart the tutorial, I just went ahead to cut out the neckline for the back part of this blouse, okay? After doing this, I placed my pattern paper on the fabric, secured it with some fabric clips, and I just went ahead to cut out the back part of this blouse, okay? If at any point I've said gown, just know that I did not sleep well at night. So now for the back, it will have a little opening so that we can put maybe, you could not maybe, to have a little opening, okay? So we're going to step that down by 3 inches, and at the top we're going to mark 1 cm, okay? Now this is sort of an ease opening so that your head can easily fit in. So after doing that, the next thing I went ahead to do was to cut it out, okay? Next thing I went ahead to do was to cut it out. After cutting it out, it's time for the front part. So for the front part, I now went ahead to cut out the remaining neckline, which is originally for the front. And I just placed the pattern on the fabric. Same thing I did for the back, and I went ahead to cut. Now for the wrapper part, what I did here was my full length is 60 inches. So 60 inches minus my half blouse length, which is 17 inches, okay? I just went ahead and it gave me 43 inches. So the length of the wrapper is 43 inches. Okay, now so this is the front and the back part of the blouse, and I'm just going to turn over the neckline with the facing that I have cut. Okay, so I just went ahead to join the facing to the neckline. After joining it, I went ahead to understitch. People have warned me not to be saying top stitch. I'm an obedient girl, so I'll be staying understitch. So after turning it over, this is what we have here, guys. I went ahead to give it a very good press. This is what we have here, guys. Now, the next thing I went ahead to do was to place the back part on the front part, and I'm going to join the shoulders and the side, okay? The shoulder and the side, okay? So I took it over to my sewing machine and I joined the shoulder. I also went ahead to join the sides, and guys, after joining the shoulder and the side, this is what we have here. I also went ahead to turn over the hem of the blouse. You can see it's simple and easy going, okay? Now the next thing I went ahead to do now this is what the blouse looks like. I wanted to show you guys another angle. I went ahead to cut a flared sleeve. Just cut a flared and insert your basic sleeve pattern on it. Okay, so I cut a flared sleeve, and the next thing I went ahead to do was I turned over the hem of the flared sleeve by 1 inch allowance. I turned it over, and after turning it over, this is what we have here. I gave it a good press. I'm going to use my elastic, and I'm going to put it through that stitch I made, or through that turn I made. I don't know what it's called. I'm forgetting things, guys, because I didn't sleep well. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just look at what I'm doing, okay? So after putting the elastic through the channel we've created, yeah, the elastic channel we created, we are just going to join the sides, okay? Which is what I went ahead to do. I took it back to my sewing machine and I joined the sides of the sleeve, okay? Now the next thing, I did this for both sides of the sleeve. That's the left hand side and the right hand side of the sleeve. I went ahead to secure the sleeve to the blouse. Okay, I went ahead to secure the sleeve to the blouse. And after securing the sleeve to the blouse with my office pins, I took it over to my sewing machine and I just joined the sleeve to the blouse. This blouse is very simple and straightforward. Okay, now this sleeve is called the bishop sleeve. Although I did wuru wuru with the cutting, but you guys understand. If you want a tutorial on the sleeve, do let me know. Okay, so after joining the sleeve to the blouse, it's time for the wrapper part. So to start the wrapper part, the first thing I went ahead to do was the top and the bottom of the wrapper. I just went ahead to fold it, turn it over so we have clean hems. Okay, now this is a 20 inches strip. Okay, so I folded it into two and I'm going to join it. The length is 20 inches and the width is 2.5 inches. We are going to need this to tie the wrapper. Okay, so after turning over the hem of the top and the bottom of the wrapper, this is what we have here. So now from the top, you are going to mark 18 inches. Initially, I marked 8 inches, but it wasn't enough, so I had to loosen. So you're going to mark 18 inches. So make sure you mark 18 inches at the top, okay? And at the bottom, I went ahead to mark 6 inches. Remember, for the top, mark 18 inches, not 8 inches, okay? I learned the hard way. No, after marking that, the next I went ahead to do, you see that band? I went ahead to secure it with a pin to the wrapper, okay? I went ahead to secure it with a pin to the wrapper. Now, the next thing you're going to do is from that point, you're going to make loose stitches. From the bottom to that point, you're going to make loose stitches. So loose stitches to that point, normal stitch. And when you get to that mark, loose stitches, okay? Then downwards, tight stitches. When you get to that point again, loose stitches so that you can easily loosen it and you have an opening. So initially, I went ahead to secure the band to the wrapper before I'm going to join the two parts together, okay? So I'm starting with my loose stitches. I did a back stitch. Then I went ahead to do my tight stitches. Then I got to the point at the bottom. I did my back stitch again and loose stitches, okay? So this is what we have here, guys. I went ahead to give it a good press because you need the crease line. After joining it, you want to make sure you iron it to give it a good press because you need the crease line. Then I just used my razor blade to open up those points that I told you. The opening at the top is going to help you tie the wrapper, okay? The wrapper skirt, yeah? So after opening it up, this is what we have here, guys. I just went ahead to top stitch the opening, as you can see, just what you can see here. So I did same thing for the top. And guys, it's time for the blouse. Was looking too plain, and the back you're going to attach either your hook and eye, your small hook and eye, or your button, whatever you like. Me, I worked with hook and eye because I don't have strength for button. Okay, so the blouse is looking too plain. I just want to spice it up a little bit. So this applique I got, okay, I just went ahead to place it to see how it looks. Then after I've gotten the perfect position, I grabbed my hoo gum, according to you guys. I used to call it UHU, but everybody calls it hoo. So hoo gum. And I just went ahead to furnish the blouse with the hoo gum. You want to make sure you put like a carton beneath, because me, I didn't, and it gummed the other side. So with this fake crystal, I just used my hoo gum as well to apply the fake crystal to the blouse. And between each design, I left 1.5 inch distance, okay? Yeah, so I just went ahead to just place the crystal depending on how beautiful it looks in my own eyes. Okay, you can do whatever you want. You can even leave it plain. Okay, after putting two, it looked nice, but I wanted it to look more nicer, if there's anything like that. So I made it 3 on each point, and this is what it looks like, guys. Does it not look beautiful? It totally transformed the look of the blouse part of this outfit. Okay, this is what we have here. I love it, I love it, I love it. And guys, this is the full outfit. I struggled a little bit when it comes to like tying the wrapper, but you know, with constant practice, I'll get better. Okay, so this is what we have here, guys. It's very simple, very easy to cut and sew this style. I forgot to fluff out my sleeve in some of the videos, but you guys get the drill. Now, here is how I managed to tie it a little bit, which I also still messed up. But you guys, I know you do a better job. So thank you for watching this tutorial. I really enjoyed filming it for you. Do make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye guys. Bye.